It's the end of 2023! And it was a good year. Mostly, you know, it was pretty bad in a global way, but for me it was a pretty good year. So, this year I focused on crocheting and knitting stuff, and I'm so glad I did because I got so much done. And also, I had very little energy for, you know, doing things that require standing up. So just getting to spend a lot of hours just sitting in my couch watching stuff was great. And that's kind of what I did. And here is everything I made this year. The first thing I did were those. The first thing I did were the curse doll. I made 2 little dicks and I sent them, so I don't have them there. But after that, I made those cute little animal scarves. And yes, this one is meant to look like a fucked up fox. And it does look pretty cute. I love it. And I was making them for a friend that in the end didn't want them, so I'm keeping them and adding them to my collection. And I crocheted them, which means they lay flat. Which is better because I was not very good at knitting scarves before. And yeah, they have little legs and all. And the neck with the plushy yarn. So it's very soft. I made the fox and I made this little badger, which is very fun too. And this one has the added bonus of having little pockets for my hands, so they stay warm. I haven't been wearing them a lot, mainly because it's just not cold enough anymore. But I do really love them. It's not a badger, it's I don't know the word anymore. The little thing that stinks. And it has a little button eyes, has little pockets, and I did all of that color works everywhere, and I'm just really proud of it. It looks really nice. I really love them. But they're too warm, and it's too warm outside, so I don't wear them. The next thing I did was to finally finish the 2 curse doll that I was commissioned for. I made the curse doll, the original ones, last year for my friend, and I made 3 different designs. And Richard, this design, was the most popular one. So I got 2 different people to ask me to redo it in 2 different colors. At first I thought this one was going to be fuzzier, but it's really not that comfortable to touch, so it's not that great. And someone wanted a blue one, so yeah, for Richard. This one is blue dick and this one is spiky dick. I made the little ears out of felt because it's really the only way I managed to do this shape and make it stand. And yeah, I think they're amigurumi style, but I really didn't follow any pattern. I just winged it, and the truth is I really hate making balls in crochet. And I like this design, I like Richard, but there are so many balls and it's so hard to make, it's so hard to calculate where to increase, where to decrease. It's a huge pain in the ass and I struggled a lot. So Blue Dick is going to a trans guy, so I thought as a little extra I was going to make him an extra package. I thought he was going to like it. I really hope he will. And since I really felt bad that spiky dick is so not nice to the touch, I used some fuzzy yarn that I had to make an extra keychain with its head So it's a Richard keychain. So it's not a big replacement, but it's still something. So yeah, those are going. This one is going to the UK. The in blue deck is going to Italia today. The next one on the list is this beautiful crochet lace shawl. It was the first time I made lace, and it's really fun, and I'm going to do it again because it's really fun. It is not my pattern, it is not my idea at all. It's the vintage bead crocheted by Amy Design. I'm going to leave a link in the video, in the description for the video that I followed, and I really like it. I'm not going to keep it. It's a gift for someone, but I'm really happy with that, and it's good that I started experimenting with lace enough to be comfortable doing the bat shawl in lace. So I am not doing that yet because we're only in April, so I'm going to do that later. But yeah, I'm filming it now because it's leaving. I'm going to miss it, but it's for someone else. I'm really happy with it. It's very simple motif, very simple pattern, but it does look pretty elegant and I like it. And it was really the first time I did lace like that. I just wanted to dip my toe with something simple. There was other patterns that I was interested in, but they were more complicated and I didn't want to mess up. So starting small, it looks good. It's made with thrifted yarn again. It's the cheap black kind. And oh god, pinning it in place took forever. After I block it, I needed to pin it spread so it would show the actual lace. And it took so many pins because I had to put a pin in all of the little picot stitches there and it took forever. But I'm really happy with the result, so it was worth it. My cat did sleep on it, so let's keep in mind. And the next on the list is this little beanie. I made it for a friend again, so I'm not going to keep it either. It fits, which is better than the first trial. First trial I made on this and it turned out to be too small, too tight. So it was just jersey. So it was knitting, but it was only jersey because you used the loom. And it was boring. So I was not very happy with it, and it was too small because I made him try it out, and I said fuck it, and I ended it all, and I was like, okay, it didn't work, I'm going to use needles. So I used circular needles, they're number 7 because I don't know if you can see, but there is 3 different yarns knitted together. That's why it has this color and it looks really good. I'm really happy with it. It was the first time that I made those little braids motifs and I totally freehanded them. I did not follow any pattern, I just winged it and I'm really happy with the result. It looks really nice. It is not my colors. I will not wear it myself because colors are just too garish, but for my friend it's perfect because apparently his wife likes him wearing stuff like that because she can spot him in crowds. So I really like it, I'm really proud of it. It didn't take very long, which is nice. It took like 2 days. The shawl would have taken maybe 3 days. I had a bad day in the middle, but I'd say around 3 days, so it's really not that bad for gifts. And yeah, I'm really happy with the result. It looks very nice. It's the first time I knitted with more than 1 yarn, and I made it easy on myself and using 3 at a time because why not? And I'm glad I did because it looks very nice. So yeah, that's what I did. The next thing I did was actually this little scarf, which is the first I made this way. I don't know how it's called. I think it's ribbing, and it's amazing. Like, it took a lot more concentration than what I usually do, but it looks awesome. It falls flat. It looks the same on the both sides. So I think I'm gonna undo most of my scarves and redo them like that. Which is gonna take a while, but nah. At least it looked better. Because I was really frustrated about the curling on the itself bit. This scarf actually is an order from my neighbor, who is nice and all, and so I agreed to make the scarf and the beanie for characters that she made for a kindergarten class. So she's very nice, and she would have struggled to do it, so since it took me like 3 hours for it, I totally agreed to do it, no problem. The colors she gave me just did not fit, so I had to make it work. I don't think she's gonna be upset about the colors, because we talked about it and she was fine with it. She's the one who supplied the yarn, so she have to deal a little with the colors she had. For the beanie, I just couldn't do anything. She gave me that and that's all I had. So I had to deal with it, and here is the result. It is by far not my best work, but it works. It fits a strange little eyeless papier-mâché figurine, and I did not do the pom-poms because well, she leads a class of kindergarten, so they'll make the pom-poms. That will, you know, occupy them for an hour and give her a break, so just makes more sense. And yeah, after that I decided to redeem myself with knitting scarves, and this one is for Mr. Tumnus cosplay from the Chronicles of Narnia, just Narnia, and yeah, it laid flat because it's ribbing, it's not just stuck in its stitch, which is a progress because I sucked at it before. But yeah, it's very long, it's not that large. I really worked very hard to make it match the screenshot that I had from the movie, and I'm really happy because it really looks really nice. And yeah, I remade most of the scarves that I fucked up when I was younger and didn't know what to do. So I redid this one, I redid the Winnie scarf, and I'm really proud. This is what it looks before. It's all rolled because I use simple knitting. Like, it was my first changing colors mid-row work, so it was great, but also it rolled because I didn't know how to make a scarf when I made those first scarves. So that's what it looked like, and so it wasn't looking great. But it is what it looks now. It lays flat. It's great. I love it. It lays flat. It's really nice. It's really even, and yeah, I did a great job. Now that I learned what to do. So that's great. It's all ribbing, so that's new for me. But I made it work. Constantly learning. And yeah, I'm really glad I redid it. So that's all the scarves. I'm done with the scarves. After that, I'm not done with the scarves. After that, I started trying to use my scraps, because I had a lot of scraps that I never used, and I didn't know what to do with those, and they kept taking all the space, and so I did that. I had one ball of that really beautiful pink yarn that I used to make a beanie out of. I really like it. It's really soft, and then it was really the only thing that could be done with only that amount of yarn, because I only had one ball. But then I went to the thrift store again, month after maybe years, and I found the exact same yarn, another ball of it. So I was like, I have to buy it. So I bought it, and I made all the stuff with it, with the same pattern, with the same braid rope pattern. So I made those cool little mittens. I'm really happy with them. They're really nice, they're really soft. And since I still had a little bit left, I made a ridiculously tiny scarf with, again, the same braid pattern. It really looks ridiculous, but it's there, and if you know, just want something to tuck into a high neck, it works. And I just love having sets, so I really love it. I missed doing sets. Like, I had made beanie, mittens, hand warmer, scarf, and something else, headband, all in the same white yarn ages ago, and I loved it so much. And this is the latest shawl I made. We are in May. I made it in 3 days, like the first one. It has 3 different shades of blue, and I was trying to do like one of those cakes with the ombre effect, and I was like, if I just use 3 different shades close enough, it's gonna look like an ombre, and it does not. It looks like stripes. Like, you can clearly see the delimitation of all, but it's okay. It's still blue. I still think she's gonna like it. It is for my neighbor, and it's a lacy shawl again, and the pattern is a little more complicated than the first one I made, but I got the hang of it pretty fast. So it's done. I like it, and I'm going to give it away. By the way, blocking it was still the worst thing I've ever done. I hate doing that. But there was less of it than the first one. Like, there was all of the picot stitch to block on the first one. So annoying. But this one was better. Even if I ended up in scalloped edge, so that ain't 1 pin for each. It's not great, but it's worth it because it looks really good, and I really like it. I really like the pattern. I can't see any mistakes, not like the first one, so it's pretty nice. All it took was a lot of the marathon. Long version, but still. So here it is. I like it. I like making lacy shawls. I don't like wearing them, so I like them to give them away. But it's still nice. After that, I was still running on scraps, so I had very little amounts of red and orange yarn in the same thing. I do not remember what from, but I made this with it, and it's pretty cool for something made really with bottom of the drawer scraps. And yeah, it really has a vibe, a post-apocalyptic vibe to it. I really like it. I think I really wish I had a second one so I could wear it as a pair. But I also really like that it is only one, so it's pretty punk. So I really like it. I should probably wear it more often because it's pretty cool. And I also made this. So it looks ridiculous, like really ridiculous, but it makes me happy. And again, this yarn that I found at the thrift store, it's really small, but I really loved it. It's really colorful, and there was only one ball of it, so I struggled so much to find out what I could do with only one ball, so I tried to make a beanie, and it was just too small to make one beanie. But then today, I went to the thrift store again, and look what I found! It's not the same color, but it's the same yarn. I really want to do something with it. Maybe just continue it, or maybe combine the two and make a bigger beanie by crocheting them together. I don't know. But I want to do something! It's the exact same yarn, just different color, and it's so multicolor, and it's so cool. I'm really gonna do something with it in the future, but in the meantime I made a beanie that looks ridiculous. During that using scraps period, I also made tree skirts that I'm filming now because I'm about to decorate. So I need this and the skirts. Christmas tree skirts to put on the kinda ugly foot. First one I made is this one. I think I made it in that order. I don't remember the order. But this is the one that I just pinned down from being blocked, and it looks pretty cool. It is grey and white because it goes with my white tree. The one are more Christmas colors, but this one goes with the white tree, and I didn't want it to look, you know, red. And it's a doily pattern, which means that all that part is going to be see-through, which is a bit of a problem. But I think it looks cool, so it makes up for it. And I really like the drape, and it used the scraps that I didn't know what to do with, so I'm really happy with it. Next one I made is this one, and this one is definitely red. And I think this one, no, not this one, this one, I'm more or less three-handed. I think I did the first few rows following a doily pattern, a video. I don't follow patterns, don't get me wrong. And basically the rest I just pulled out of my ass. Again, doilies and like that, so it's see-through, but it's okay. I can live with it, and I really like it. It's really pretty. It's the leftover yarn that I had from my Mr. Tumnus scarf, so I had a lot of it, so I decided to make this with it. And with the leftovers from that, I made this one. This one is not see-through, which is a good thing. But it's a lot shorter too. That's why I used whatever was left. I really battled with scraps there to make the fringe. So it extends a little. And yeah, the bottom is pretty ugly, but I really don't care. It's because it's not going to be shown. So yeah, it's basically just a circle with a hole in the middle. It's the same green yarn. Yeah, and this one I totally free-handed. So it's not a doily pattern, but I adapted the number of stitches on each row of each round just to make it flat, you know. And overall I'm really happy with it. I think it looks really cute, and I'm really glad that I used all of my scraps for it. And I almost used another red that I had, but it was a much lighter red and it didn't fit, so as much as I wanted to use the other red to extend it, it just was not the right color, so hopefully this will cover the foot properly and just enough, you know. So yeah, those are my 3 tree skirts that I made, and I really like them. And because I was really enjoying making shawls, crochet shawls, I made one with like 3 different colors of, maybe 4 different colors of purple yarn that I had. And It's not my best work, but I really like that added border everywhere. It just looks so cool. I really like it, and I used almost all of the yarn that I left that I had no idea what to do. And this one is the shawl that I'm keeping. And that is so cool in itself, because the other shawls I gave away and I'll never see again, you know. This one is for me. I'm really proud. After that, the next thing I did was slippers. They're for my neighbor because she asked me. She asked me for one, and because I'm over the top, I made 3. So I made this one that I judged too small, but she likes them. Striped green and red for Christmas. Those that actually fit perfectly. I've put some hot glue on the bottom to prevent it from slipping. It's not working super well, but she doesn't mind apparently. And added a little detail of glow-in-the-dark yarn on the ankle part, so that was fun. And this one is the first one I made. Admittedly the best constructed, because I was, you know, trying to figure it out. It is in fact too long, but she doesn't mind, at least she said so. I decided to do the most boring one first, because if it was a screw up, at least I didn't waste pretty yarn for it. She liked them. Goal achieved. Of course, they're all knitted. They're made from a rectangle, and yeah, they're pretty easy to do, but getting to the right size is complicated because it's knit, it's stretch, it's pain in the ass, but it's pretty easy and fast. So I made 3, and then I ran out of yarn for the correct size. So if she wants more, I'm going to have to actually buy some yarn exclusively for it. Sorry it is. I also made with the scraps a small cat toy that did not last very long, and that I can't for the life of me find anymore. Even if my cats didn't, you know, use it very often, it's still a cat toy, and I'm really glad I used my scraps for it. So a little update on the poncho blanket. I had been doing a lot of progress, and it was getting so big, and I loved it, and I was super excited. And then I realized that from the 185 stitches that I have at the base of it, I only ended up with like 160 at the top of it where I was. So I realized that I was missing stitches, and the top was significantly smaller than the bottom, and I wanted to be completely stretched so it could be completely symmetrical. And I realized that the part where I dropped the stitches was the part where I did fillet rows, and they were so low. That means that I had to remove about 90% of what I did. I had to unravel month and month of work of doing nothing else, and it almost broke me. And it's been 2 days, I'm still processing it, and I haven't started crocheting on it again because month of work went down the drain, and I am so sad and grieving and angry and upset in all of the ways. but I can do this. I can and I will, because I have to. But yeah, I had all the front and I was like middle of my back in the return, and now I have this, and I have to start again almost completely from scratch. I can do this. So yeah, I probably at like 180 centimeters, and now I am 47 centimeters. I do not know how to process it. I do not know if I want to. But that's bad. I have a fourth of the blanket left of what I did. Thank God I didn't finish it before I realized that. But yeah, I'm gonna have to restart all my work. A friend told me that she admired my perseverance, and it's not that I'm stubborn, it's that I already have yarn. It cost me quite a lot. And it's all there in balls because I unraveled it. And so I already have the yarn. I really want the blankets. And 3, I really want it to be made perfectly, because that was the whole point of this. I wanted it to be a legacy, a heirloom that someone would cherish after me, and that is something that is just really well made and really precious and very valuable. And having it full of mistakes kind of ruined the experience for me, so I did not keep it like that. Which honestly really sucks, because come on, that was so much work. But hey, I learned from my mistakes, and second go at it, I will do better. And I will be finished before the end of the year. And here is the first blanket that I made this year. It's based on a picture art of a strawberry from Stardew Valley, I think. This is not my idea, so I'm not sure. I followed the idea of someone else because it's a commission. It's for a friend who wanted to do it, and she wanted to do it wrong, so I decided to do it for her instead. Guess what? I just noticed I fucked up. Whatever. So here it is, my first blanket of the year. The other one is there. It's almost done. There is only the details left. But yeah, it took me a while to do all the little squares and then, you know, follow exactly the pattern to know exactly where they go. But I'm happy with it, and I know she's going to love it. So that's good. The worst part was weaving all the little ends, because there were so many of them. There were 2 ends for each square, and as you can see, they're not all gone. But it's gonna have to be good enough. I'm filming it in advance because I'm sending it today. It's getting cold and she wants it now, and I hope she'll be happy with it, because I did put quite a lot of work into it. Yeah, so if it stays, I'm going to retouch all of the ends all the time, which I just don't want to do. So they're all double crochet, and they're attached together with rows of single crochet all there. So there's a good side and a bad side. the bad side of all the seams, but even if it's not as pretty, it's definitely as comfortable, so we'll have to do. I wish I could just snip all these little ends away, but I can't because everything will unravel and I don't want to do it. Admittedly, I don't like making blankets with that type of yarn. They're pain in the ass. My first blanket ever was with that kind of yarn, that caterpillar yarn, and it falls apart all the damn time. And I hated this. But that's what she wanted, that's what she gets. I hope you're happy. It's like 160 centimeters each way, which is not bad. Come on, I keep finding them. They're gonna drive me crazy fast. So yeah, I'm really happy with it. It was really fun to make. I'm really happy too. And also I made double crochet border on the top and a single crochet border on the bottom, just to make the edges a little neater, because just sewing them together did not look that great. So yeah, it's living today. I'm gonna miss it. My cats are gonna miss it more. They love it. After that, what? After that, it was Halloween season and I really wanted to do some Halloween crafts. So at first I wanted to do a sweater so I can use it to make, you know, a Halloween costume out of it. But this did not happen. But I really wanted to do something Halloween instead. Either way, so I decided to do one of those spider web gloves thing, and it did not turn that great. So that is my first attempt. I didn't finish it because it just looks horrendous. Like really bad. It does not fit me properly in any way when I knot it together. It just looks so fucking weird. Oh, I'm wearing it. It just sucks a lot. It doesn't fit me properly. I don't love it. So since wasn't working very much, I tried to do it completely different. That was already my second attempt where I tried to make it fit me better. It did not work all that much, but it was way better than whatever I tried first. And since it wasn't working, I tried a completely different pattern to do something completely different, and it does not look good either. So after that I kind of gave up, like it had to stop. So I gave up and I didn't really have a Halloween craft. But what I did have was I finished my Oogie Boogie top, and this is knitted in a circle and it's very thin. It's not the same. Yeah, it's supposed to be like that. It looks better like that. So it's knitted in a round. There's as rows of ribbing on the bottom. Unfortunately, I did not know when I did that how to bind it in a stretchy way, so it did not go super well. So it does not look super neat at the bottom, but it fits me. And I made the shoulder band out of circle loom and some of the purple yarn that I kept especially for it, and that green yarn, and yeah, it's gonna be used in one of my Nightmare Before Christmas looks to look like Oogie Boogie. It's gonna be cool and I'm really happy with it. It took so many trials to make it work, but it is working and I love it. I'm so glad I made it. And it's pretty warm for something that doesn't cover a lot of my body. Next on the list is my capelet. I love it. I made it a few years ago and I had a lot of fun making it, but the problem is the hood. It's just too big. And it's like my third or fourth attempt. I did not know how to make a hood. And I failed and I failed and I failed, and eventually I just called it a day and kept it like that. Problem is that it's just too big. It's too heavy, I cannot wear it. Which makes it pointless because I want to wear it. So I'm gonna detach the hood and try to make something a little more reasonable and a little smaller. So that's the goal. Also, with the same yarn, I make those. I love them. I love this one, of course, because it's the finished one, but I did not have enough yarn to make them matching. This one doesn't even have the ring to attach to my hand, which sucks, so yeah, I'm gonna redo it. Eventually, with the yarn I have left from redoing the hood. After that, I decided to redo my capelet. So this one had the problem of size of the hood. It's a problem that was very long in the making. I redid that hood like 5 times in total, and it's still a bit big, but I'm mostly happy with it, so that's good. And I know it's big enough to accommodate if I wore dreads underneath, but it's still reasonable, you know. And since I downside a lot from the hood, I did have enough yarn to make accessories. So I have mittens that looks really nice. I'm really proud of them. They're so comfy. Leg warmers, which, you know, they work. Which is most of what I was asking for them. So they work, which is great. Again, it's never that cold anymore. And I made a little bag because I still had some yarn, so now I have a little bag that is assorted to it. And it's so nice. I'm so glad. So I have the whole ensemble that works, and I can even carry stuff in it. It's big enough for phone and all. And there, all of it with the same yarn. I'm really happy with it. After the strawberry blanket was done, I had leftover orange and green, and I wanted to make pillows with like just 2D pillows with a pumpkin on that green background, but I tried and I tried and it wouldn't work. And then October was done and I was so done, and I sent the blankets because I did not manage to do the freebie that I wanted to do, so instead I kept the yarn. And then when I had a little more time, I made pumpkins, and they're not great, but they made pretty nice decor. I followed a pattern, a video tutorial to be more exact, and tweak it a little bit to make it work with me. So I have this one, and this one. I really like this one, it's pretty plumb, and yeah, it's got a little nubbin and all. Yeah, so that's the 3 pumpkins that I made, and I made great decor, and I used all of my scraps, so I didn't add to my outgrown collection, which is good. After that, I focused on making my collar sweater, and man, did that take a long time. The first attempt, I did all the math and I didn't know why it wasn't working, but everything was too big, too large, and it was just very annoying. It was not feeling great. So I stripped it all up. I was not in time for Halloween, but it's okay. And then I restarted from the bottom up, and it fits me so well. I am so happy with the result. Everything is so nice. The only thing that I regret is if I was doing that a third time, which I will not because hell no, I will make it a little longer. But apart from that, it fits so well. I'm so happy with it. And I made it for a Coraline cosplay. And in the future, I will add stars to it. But I haven't really managed to find stars that will work, but until then, it looks so great and it fits so well. It fits weird because of the shirt underneath, but it really fits me so well. The math worked out, even if it was super complicated. And yeah, making a sweater without a pattern was a journey, and I'm never doing that again. I did not enjoy it. I'm not a knitter. I'm a crocheter. And finally, the last thing I did was the monster, which took me so long, but it's so worth it. It's a poncho! It's a poncho blanket. It is huge. I made it because I had something similar but like woven from South America at my parents' house, and I had to leave it behind because it was not mine. And I missed it a lot and I wanted to recreate it, and I did, and it looks so good. I will add more of those snowflakes a bit all over, but I haven't done it yet because it's taking forever and we're already December 30th, so it's not gonna happen this year. It's okay, it's okay. I'm not kidding, this is huge and this is both ways, and yeah, so I loved it. It's definitely a several month project. It took me a lot of time and it's not even finished. So yeah, the blue stripes are all done in half double crochet, and the white straps are done with several different stitches. And I got a little creative there, but I really tried to match each side with what they had in the first place, because I made like one up, of course I made this way. So I try to match everything perfectly, and it does. And it's the same yarn, but just different colors, so it looks all homogeneous. And I had to remove 90% of it while I was halfway through. It took a lot out of me, but I pushed through, and I'm so glad because it's amazing and I love it. And I had some yarn left of it, so I made this little cushion, the same stitches and same fringes, and I also made some slippers. I also made some slippers for my neighbor with it, and I added some little snowflakes on it. And I still have a bit left, so if you have any idea what to do with them, please let me know. But yeah, that's about it. That's about everything I did this month, this year, with yarn and stuff and needles. And I can't wait to see what I will do next year. but it will not be mainly focused on it, but it would still be a good year, I think. So I'll see you then.